Let's talk about what indicators I use and how I use them to help me be more effective in my trading. What's going on? My name is Tony Pawlak with Real Life Trading. Can't wait to dive into these indicators and kind of help you and show you why I do what I do. First things first, I want you to know, I don't believe in indicators to give me an idea of when to get in, when to get out, and solely base it off of that, right? I use my indicators to help assist me in what I'm already seeing. So I am a big price action trader. The price action, what the candles are doing, is what's telling me to get in and out of a trade. So that's what I teach. That's what I've always traded with. So I can take all indicators off of my chart here and trade just as successfully as I would with them on, right? So I want to preface that there is no shortcut. There is no golden indicator that's going to show you all these things. Do indicators work? Yes. Do they work all the time? No. And that's the truth in anything in the markets, right? Everything works, just not all the time. So that's what I want to preface this whole video with. Let's start with this real quick. My EMAs. What EMAs do I have on my chart? I have the 10, the 20, the 50, 100, and 200. Why? It's just what I've always had. What I use the EMAs and SMAs for are support and resistances. I don't care if they cross. I don't care if it's above it, below it. All that shows me is this acts as another place of resistance where it could come into and reject off of. Or if we're above it, where we could come into and bounce off of, right? So that's all I'm using the EMAs for, are potential locations where if we don't really have a resistance here or something, and yet I have an EMA here, that might be the place where we hit and reject, even though it's not right at the resistance, for example. Does that make sense? So that's all I use them for. I don't use them for my entries, exits. I simply just use them to kind of read strength. If we continue to hang below and reject off of the 10 or the 20 EMA, I believe that that's still kind of a sign of strength. Once we break out across those EMAs, it's a sign of strength for the bulls now. So that's kind of what I use them for, mainly support and resistance. My next thing is RSI. I love the RSI. It gives me an idea real quick at a glance of how high, how low are we? Are we kind of hanging out in the middle, right? It gives me an idea of if we've made a very large move down and the RSI is pretty low and pretty much oversold, then it tells me this is not the time to go short. Wait for a bounce, then go short, right? At the exact same time, when the stock is rampaging and we are overbought on the RSI, it's simply just telling me not to go long up here. Wait for a pullback, then go long, right? So that's all I really use the RSI for. I use divergence to kind of show me if some strength is starting to leave, starting to grow, starting to wane, whatever, right? So I use divergence on indicators a lot with this, with the RSI, but again, none of those are telling me to get into a trade. It has to be through price action. So that's what I look for on that. The last thing on my chart, volume. Volume is one of my favorite indicators. I use volume a lot. Volume to me, really, it's price action and volume are the only leading indicators. Everything else is a lagging indicator, right? The moves are going to happen and then the EMAs cross, right? The moves already happened though. So what's going to tell you what's about to happen? In my opinion, price action and volume. And so you can use volume profile. You can use all kinds of different other things. I have the basic volume down here. Just what I'm looking for are key levels. And I use the volume to confirm that a level is key. So before we even come down into this mark, I've already had this thing priced out. Why do I do that? Why? Because I've noticed how long, how many times we've bounced off of this area. We've bounced off of this area like 20 times on a monthly chart. So whenever we get back to this $26 level, which we did right here, look at the volume coming into this area right here through this spot. That's all I'm looking at is, are there people paying attention to the levels that I am paying attention to? And that's one of the main things I use volume for. When I get this, now that's starting to paint a picture a little bit more of the puzzle that I'm already have together of, I believe it's going to do this, or I believe it's going to do this based off of price action. I can let volume kind of confirm that people are looking at the same thing that I'm looking for, and it's respecting levels that I'm seeing, which makes trading a lot easier. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at when I come to my indicators. Little quick video, simple video of what I use them for, what's on my chart, why are they on my chart, and how I use them to kind of assist me in my overall thoughts of what's happening. But I don't rely on one of them to tell me to get in or to get out. I just use them to kind of help me paint a picture a little bit of strength and weakness, and I use price action to give me an idea of what trades I'm going to take, bullish or bearish, when to get in, when to get out, etc. So hope this video helped. Come check us out at reallifetrading.com. You can come trade with us, watch me trade live every single day, watch all these awesome moderators that we have trade live. So again, thank you so much for being here. Hope this helped. See you around.